Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Executive Director for the Colorado Snowsports Museum, Jen Mason.
Oh, Kent Myers is still in the audience. Kent, we need you backstage, please. Kent Myers, you're going to go backstage. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 46th annual Colorado Snowsports Museum and Hall of Fame induction. This is the best day of the year because this is the day that we get to celebrate the sport that we all truly love. The greatest thing about skiing and snowboarding is it's truly transgenerational. Like you get to ski with it. I get to ski with my 85-year-old dad. I get to ski with all my friends' kids. It is the best feeling in the world. The best part about skiing is that it's truly a lifestyle. And so we are all here to celebrate that today. So we are grateful that you are here. And the sun is out. Yay. So thank you so much. So thank you all so much for being here. And we are just thrilled to have everybody here. So very, very excited. So we are going to be, we're going to shake things up a little bit this year, and we're super excited. I hope you all. So the bars will be closing in 20 minutes. So if you want to grab a drink, you can bring food and beverages inside into the venue, so please do that. But the bars will be closing in about 20 minutes, and but you can go get extra drinks and get yourselves all prepared. And so we are hoping for a very fun and festive celebration today. So of course we can't do this without the help of so many people. But first of all, to kick this off, I would like to introduce Terry Armistead, who is going to sing the national anthem of the United States.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow. Such a beautiful, beautiful song by a beautiful person. We are so lucky. So thank you, Terry. So, of course, we can't do all of what we do at the Colorado Snowsports Museum. We have an amazing board of directors. So this year, we are asking if you are on our board of directors, could you please stand up right now? And all of the names, yes, this is an amazing board. Thank you so much for everything that you do. We are so grateful. And I want to give a big extra round of applause to Todger Anderson, our treasurer, Diane Boyer, the chairman, Andy Franklin, the vice chair, and Dean Erickson, the secretary. So thank you so much for everything that you do. So we have an amazing board. And then also, we have this incredible committee of people who help keep the integrity of the Hall of Fame, and they are our Hall of Fame committee, and they are chaired by Bill Tomsich, who is on our board. And as you can see, I think Melanie Mills and a couple other people, most of them are backstage, a lot of them are Hall of Fame members. But if you are in the audience, please stand and we'll give a big round of applause to our Hall of Fame committee for all the work and effort that they do. So thank you very much. There she is, Melanie. So, yes, so this is wonderful. I can't do this without the help of our amazing staff and our volunteers at the Colorado Snowsports Museum. So our staff is busy running around. They're not here to stand up, but let's give a big round of applause for Ashley, Becky, Brooke, Dana, Diana, Ellie, Erin, Holly, Jennifer, Peggy, and Riley. As you can see, we are an all-women staff. It's pretty incredible. So we are very grateful. I love our small but mighty staff. It's pretty incredible and so fun. And of course, I have an amazing group of volunteers. I cannot do it without our volunteers. So big round of applause for all of our volunteers. Bernil, Cindy, Dan, Josh, Julia, Kelly, Laura, Martha, Mary Jo, Moses, Ron, Tim, and Teresa and her girls. So thank you very much for all of our volunteers. They truly are incredible. They do so much for us. Ron, they're back there. They're all working really hard right now. I don't think there's a single one in the audience, so they're busy at work. So thank you. Look, we're moving right along. So now what we're going to do is we are going to bring out many of our board members and also all of the Hall of Fame members who have been inducted in previous years are going to come out on stage and line up behind me. So we are going to introduce the previous classes, and we're going to get them out, and they're going to line up right behind me. And while we are doing that, this is the hardest part of the day for me right now. We would like to have in memory. There we go. We're going to have an hopefully the stage crew will be able to fix that sign while we're doing this. So thank you to the stage crew. Oh, nice. Here we go. So we are going to do this a little differently this year. Normally we say them one by one. So what we're going to do is I'm going to announce their name and their class. They're going to step forward and wave. And then when we are done, all of the Hall of Fame members, please stay on the stage. If you're a family member, please exit so we can get that group shot of all the Hall of Fame members. We are trying something new this year. I felt like the legacy alone of these people, we have people that their father was inducted in the 90s. So we're going to celebrate that this is truly a legacy, and they feel that this is a worthy induction to still come to our event every year. So we are now going to recognize also the Hall of Fame members and family Hall of Fame members. So that's why it looks a little different than years past. So we're going to go in order of induction. So Pete Seibert Jr. representing Pete Seibert Sr., class of 1980. And then, of course, Billy Kidd representing 1986. Aw, Billy. Susan Raymond Grant and Seth Grant are here representing Ned Grant, who you'll learn about later. From 1993, he was inducted. Of course, we have the wonderful Andy Mill, 1994. Woo woo! Andy Daly, class of 2000. Woo! We have Dane Lind and Gay Stedman representing Doc Stedman, class of 2001. Dane. And then we have Susie Shepard here representing Maury Shepard from the class of 2003. Johnny Stevens, he is here representing himself from the class of 2004. Yay! And then, of course, we have the cutest Sarah Will, 2004. Woo! And then George Gillette is here today, representing the class of 2005. Renee Gorsuch, class of 2007. Where is cute Renee? There she is. Bill Jensen, 2008. Woo! Otto Schutte, class of 2009. And representing the country of Norway, as always, Trig Marin, 2011. John Garnsey, 2011. Oh, Paul Tessweed is here today in the house, 2012. This is a fun one. Martha Walton is here from the family of the funniest fun family of the Walton families from Crested Butte, and he was inducted in 2000 and I should have made lines on this. 2012. There's Martha. There's cute Martha. Roger Cotton Brown. He says he was coming. Is Roger in the audience? Roger Cotton Brown, where are you? There he is. Oh, Roger. Roger. He was inducted in the class of 2013. Roger, you were inducted in 2013. Mike Brown. Where is Brownie? Class of 2014. CJ Mueller, fastest man on the planet, 2014. Oh, we got some 2015ers. Jack Eck, 2015. Oh, Jack. Kent Myers, class of 2015. Nice. Oh, here we go. Diane Boyer, class of 2017. Chris Anthony, class of 2018. Karen Gent is here representing Brad Gent, class of 2018. Another Gorsuch, Jeff Gorsuch is here, 2019. And this is a great, and Jake Kessler, 2019. There you go, Jake. And Steve Raymond, also representing the class of 2019. Whoop, whoop. Ellen Post Foster, the class of 2021. And then John Dakin, last year he was inducted, 2022. Woo. So let's give one big giant round of applause for all these Hall of Famers and their stories and everything they've done for our industry. That is amazing. So now if you are a family member, if you could please depart the stage, and then the Hall of Famers, we're gonna get that really annoying photo that you all, but it's the best photo, it's the one that we all love. So we're gonna get the photo of all the Hall of Famers. All on this side? If we're gonna move all, everybody down. And we also have the amazing Richard Rokos here. Thank you, Richard, for showing up. We're so excited. And look. Okay, so Rex is going to get the shot that we really want. Hey, Rex. No, we're doing great. So this is probably the hardest part of the whole night. So now we're going to let these guys exit, and we're going to talk about. Well, I would like to give a big round of applause to our sponsors today, the Gorsuch family, Jake Heschler, Susan Raymond, Town of Vale, Vale Daily, Vale Resorts Epic Promise. So thank you for being a big sponsor of this event. We truly, truly appreciate it. And so now we would like to remember those who are not with us today, unfortunately. This is not this is always a tough part for me, but because I become very connected and very close to all of these guys. So Chris Diamond, class of 2017. Brad Gent, class of 2018. Mo Mosley, class of 2018. Oh, Mo. Frida Langer-Niders, class of 2009. Dick Over was a Lifetime Achievement Award winner in 2014 and very connected to the museum. Sweet, sweet 10th Mountain Division man. Crosby Perry Smith, class of 1992. And Richard Doc Stedman, we lost this year in January, unfortunately. Class of 2001. So, now, we're moving right along. This is great. So I am going to introduce the MC for the evening, and it's going to be a wonderful evening. We have a ton of amazing stories to tell you, and we have a lot of legacy stories and a lot of legacy families going on. So now I would like to introduce your MC for the evening, and it's going to be Chris Anthony, Hall of Fame member, 2018.
All right, we ready? We're going to have a fun time. Welcome to the Colorado Snowsports Hall of Fame inductions. This is amazing. Jen Mason and this team have been spending months putting this together for you, and I can just tell by the smiles on their face and the fact that this arrived tonight. They are happy, and we all want to thank you all for being here. So this means so much to all of us. Thanks for being part of this community. We have an amazing evening planned for you. Tonight we're going to celebrate one of the most important evenings in the Colorado snow sports industry. And it's a very special evening. Since its creation, the Hall of Fame has recognized and recorded stories of amazing people, all of which have been archived at the museum. And that's the most important part, is this museum that we have, and we're very privileged to have it and keeping track of all this. Tonight, we're going to build 5 more chapters to that archive through these 5 inductions here tonight. Very special inductions. And they will be hoping for your warm applause, as well as they will also be receiving these wonderful plaques. This has been introduced to those that have been inducted since 1977, when we had our first class that included people like Buddy Warner, Carl Howelson of Howelson Hill over there. There's also the father and the founder of the National Ski Patrol, Minnie Dole, was in that first class. All of them will be receiving these unbreakable plaques etched into marble, and this comes from Marble, Colorado. A very special thing that you'll be taking home. Are you ready? We're going to just jump right into it because the stories tonight are amazing. I've had the luxury of studying each and one of these inductees deeply, preparing for this event. Our first inductee has a list of accomplishments that absolutely blows me away. It's been hard watching these things because I've watched them so many times. They're so inspiring. But nothing was going to hold this individual back. So we are going to hear from, but Sandy Shellworth Hilder is our first inductee tonight, and we have an amazing tribute video. And this year we're doing something very special where each video has been narrated by somebody very special. And doing the narration for Sandy's tribute video tonight is three-time Olympian Christina Kosnick Landa. She's here somewhere. Where are you, Kos? There she is in the back. All right, ready, Hayden? Here we go for our first inductee for the evening.
Without a doubt, in a time before anyone had even thought about something like Title IX, Sandy Shellworth Hilder's trailblazing, often groundbreaking, diverse, lifelong accomplishments most certainly contributed significantly to the building of the sport of skiing in Colorado. Sandy was born in 1944 in Annapolis, Maryland, where her father was an instructor at the U.S. Naval Academy. Soon after the war, the family moved to Boise, Idaho, where Sandy was a nationally ranked high school athlete in tennis and skiing, while also swimming competitively. She attended the University of Colorado so that she and future Hall of Famer Barbara Ferries Henderson could train with Bob Beatty, another celebrated Hall of Famer. In the pre-Title IX era, CU had only a men's ski team, but Sandy trained alongside the men while also competing as a member of the U.S. ski team.
Sandy was smart, a great athlete, and a humble person. Barbara Ferries was also in that same group. They wanted a place to train, and Bob Beatty had put together the center here in Boulder, and so the natural was at the University of Colorado.
The thing that was impressive about Sandra is she was competitive all the time. Then we showed up at the University of Colorado. Sandra would come up and train with us with the team, the ski team from CU with Beatty, and she'd come up and train slalom at St. Mary's Glacier. And the most impressive, she never complained. She was always right there working hard, and she had a focus on what she was doing.
During her 5-year career on the U.S. ski team, she won the 1963 U.S. National Slalom Championship at the age of 18, along with the 1967 Roach Cup Downhill in Aspen, and the 1967 U.S. National Giant Slalom in Missoula, Montana. Training later that day in Missoula, Sandy would suffer a severely broken leg. Desperately rehabilitating, she was selected to race the downhill at the 1968 Olympic Games in Grenoble, France, finishing 21st, while becoming the first woman Olympian from CU. She retired from the U.S. team in the spring of 1968.
She just did what was required to compete, and she did a great job. Very representative of the ski team, and was part of the team. That was the best part about her.
Following her competitive career, Sandy joined the Lang Boot Company, then located in Broomfield, Colorado. Her design and fabrication talents, as well as her expertise, were soon recognized, and she was put in charge of the company's prototype shop and its group of technicians. A female in a supervisory role important to the company was unusual and significant in the male-dominated ski industry of the time. When the Lang Company began to make Dynamique skis in Broomfield, Sandy became a ski tester to help determine the best shape and flex profiles for the American-made models. While at Lang, Sandy served on the U.S. Olympic Committee's Athlete Advisory Committee.
First met her when she was working for the Lang Ski Company and Boot Company, and she was responsible for their technical area as well as management of their involvement in the U.S. ski team pool. And I quickly gained a lot of respect for her knowledge, her technical ability. She was a woman in a man's world, and she succeeded. She was really the first woman in the manufacturing side that I'm aware of that made a significant contribution.
Sandy was hired by Beaver Fowler and Chuck Lewis to be the head coach of the Winter Park ski team. The first female to hold the position, she guided the team for 4 seasons from 1974 to 1977. In addition, she served as a volunteer guide for 21 seasons for the Over the Hill Gang at Copper Mountain. Founded by Hall of Famer Mo Mosley, the gang grew to 700 members while Sandy was a guide. She was instrumental in the offering of then uncommon women's clinics, run exclusively by women guides for women interested in improving their skills.
Sandy was very instrumental in getting the women's clinics started, and it was a great success. She was an extraordinary ski racer, as everyone knows, and a phenomenal person on the snow. She loved to share her knowledge, and she was so much fun to be with on the snow.
Off the slopes, Sandy's friend, Susan Grant Raymond, was commissioned by the town of Vail to create the sculpture entitled Uplift, featuring 4 life-size bronze skiers coming over a white marble mogul. Installed in 1986, the sculpture greets all visitors coming into Lions Head Plaza from the bus stop or the parking structure. Sandy played such an essential role in bringing the concept to fruition that Grant Raymond put Sandy's name on the bronze plaque along with her own.
And I told Sandy we had to figure this out, and without blinking, she went and got plumb bob and levels and rulers and so forth and tape measures and said it needs to be right here. So, okay. So then when the drill guy came, said here, and then the bronze came and it went right in. She just had so many areas of almost genius, and I couldn't have done that without her.
Similarly, when the artist won the commission for a 17-foot tall bronze statue honoring the 10th Mountain Division, she called on Sandy again to help her make the sculpture a reality. Entitled Military Mountaineers, the sculpture features a 10th Mountain Division veteran on top, belaying and welcoming a modern 10th Mountain Division soldier climbing up to join him. Constructed, cast, and finished in Colorado, the statue was installed in 1991 at Fort Drum, New York, the present home of the 10th, and now stands in front of the Fort Drum headquarters building, welcoming visitors and 10th Mountain Division soldiers to remind them of the 10th's courageous history. Sandy Shellworth Hildner was overcome by cancer in January of 2019. Whether it was as an athlete, a coach, a businesswoman, or a volunteer, Sandy served as a role model, demonstrating to other women and girls that with hard work and talent, a woman could represent Colorado and the U.S. at the highest level of international sport, earn respect, and remain feminine. We are pleased and honored to welcome Sandy Shellworth Hildner to the Colorado Snowsports Hall of Fame as a member of the class of 2023.
Thank you for standing. We have a wonderful little theme song for her. And here accepting the award tonight is her Ernie Hilder, Cynthia Hilder, and Drew Hilder. Let's welcome them to stage.
Though he'd be poor a man if he never saw an eagle fly. Rocky Mountain High.
In honor of Sandy Shellworth Hilder. Having been elected by your peers into the Colorado Snowsports Hall of Fame and representing millions of skiers and snowboarders across Colorado, we hereby bestow upon you the highest award in Colorado Snowsports.
Thank you. I'm Ernie Hildner. I was fortunate to be married to Sandy for 50 years. I and her daughter and son are her stand-ins today. She died of cancer 4.5 years ago. That is a heck of a video, and I'm having some trouble containing my emotions. And I had not seen it before, so some of the things I'm going to say are repetitive with the video, and I apologize for that. But her diverse contributions to Colorado skiing were well captured in the video. Sandy loved the mountains. She loved seeing the mountains. She loved being in the mountains. She loved climbing, backpacking, river running in the mountains. She liked it all. But especially, she loved and was passionate about carving down the mountains in the snow. On sunny days, when she got off the lift at the top of the area, she would always collect the group that she was skiing with and encourage them to look around at the scenery, the snow-covered mountains that were evident. And then she'd take off down the hill like a bullet with a big smile on her face. If Sandy were here, she would thank many people for her contributions. A lot of them are already members of the Hall of Fame. She would thank her coaches in Idaho. She would thank Bob Beatty for inviting her to come to the University of Colorado after she won the Junior Nationals. The CU ski team was then the nucleus of the U.S. ski team. And as a pre-Title IX female athlete, Sandy could not be a member of the men's CU ski team, but she could and she did train with them. If she were here, she would thank the guys and the gal that you heard about, with whom she trained, for making her strong enough to be the U.S. national champion in slalom in her freshman year, and strong enough to compete internationally as part of the U.S. ski team. If Sandy were standing here, she would thank her U.S. ski teammates, both female and male, 10 of whom are already in the Hall of Fame, for their camaraderie, which made tough times and injuries bearable while they were competing in Europe. She would thank Bob Lang for recognizing her talent by putting her in charge of the Lang Company prototype shop, which we saw a little bit about in the video. She could use her engineering insights, her intuition, and her deep knowledge of ski technique to modify Lang boots in ways that improved them and would show up in next year's production run. Sandy would thank Beaver Fowler and Harry Lewis for selecting her to be the first female coach of the Winter Park ski team. And during the selection interview, going through the list of standard questions, Beaver and Harry asked Sandy, "Can you project a strong male image?" She said, "No, I can't, but I can be a good ski coach." Sandy would thank Bill Keyser for introducing her to the Copper Mountain Over the Hill gang and suggesting that she would make a great volunteer guide. Sandy was very passionate about helping others ski better, and nothing gave her greater satisfaction than to have an OHG member come up to her at the end of a guiding day and say with a big smile, "You have helped my skiing so much. This has been my best day of skiing ever." Sandy would, if she were here, thank the other Over the Hill gang, some of whom are here, guides, for making her 20 years of volunteering so much fun. She would thank the Copper Mountain supervisors of the OHG program, and you saw Mark Fish in the video. Especially, Sandy would thank Susan Raymond, who was up here earlier, her best friend for 55 years, and Susan was the one who with Sandy's help, made the statues that you saw in the video. Sandy would thank Kurt Smits for initiating her nomination to the Hall a couple of years ago, and all of the others who have enthusiastically endorsed her nomination. And finally, if Sandy were here, she would thank her children for giving her the joys of parenthood, a satisfaction quite apart from skiing.
Thank you. Congratulations. Yeah, All right. Before we move on, I need to quickly acknowledge something that we saw there in the video. Reason being that Sandy's legacy, as we've learned with all this, the connection that the ski industry does, especially this museum and the Hall of Fame, is unbelievable. So it was mentioned there in the museum, out there sitting in the audience, is the artist Susan Grant Raymond. She's also part of the Hall of Fame. Where are you at, Susan? Stay standing, Susan. Susan is the daughter of a World War II vet, Ned Grant, who was inducted in 1993. But hitting closer to home, I actually ran into Susan a couple years ago because she was inducted into the United States Army Warrior Hall of Fame because of the work that she did on that sculpture. This sculpture right here, this is a miniature version of it. It stands 18 feet tall out there at Fort Drum. It is the most amazing thing that I've ever seen, Susan. And I've seen it now. I've been out there on 4 different visits. What you've done is fantastic. This sits in the museum, so I hope you go by and visit it. Thank you, Susan, for everything you've done. We're going to move on to the annual awards. These are very special. The next 2 awards are for the College Gate Skier of the Year. I want to recognize the 2023 Female College Gate Skier of the Year, Nora Brand. Nora is from Munich, Germany. She is a senior alpine skier with the University of Denver. After recovering from a knee injury in October 2020, Nora came back in the 21-22 season by winning a NORAM slalom title in Stratton. And this set her on the momentum for her next couple years that were quite amazing. In 2023, Nora earned first-team All-American in slalom and second-team All-American in giant slalom. Nora was also named to Rocky Mountain Intercollege Gate Ski Association's first team in 2023. But she's not just a fast skier. In 2022 and for the season of 2022 and 2023, she earned scholarship athlete at the University of Denver. Let's give a big hand for Nora. Nora, she's back home, but she sent us a little video to tell you thank you.
Hi, I'm Nora. I'm on the University of Denver ski team, and I'm super honored to be nominated as one of the Collegiate Athletes of the Year 2023 by the Colorado Snowsports Museum. I'm sorry I can't be there to celebrate in person because I'm currently in New Zealand training for the upcoming season. I'm very happy how everything went last year after coming back from an injury. I'm super grateful for all the support that I have from home and from the university, and I hope that we can continue with our success next season.
Congratulations, Nora. We're going to make sure she receives her wonderful induction here. For the male College Gate Skier of the year, I want to introduce you to Philip Forchek. Philip is the alpine skier from University of Colorado. In 2022, he was the NCAA Giant Slalom Champion as well as the National Men's College Gate Skier of the Year. Philip is the Rocky Mountain Intercollege Gate Ski Association 3-time first-team All-American and MVP in Giant Slalom. In 2023, as a fifth-year senior, Philip became just the 3rd male ever to win back-to-back national NCAA titles in giant slalom, and the first for CU. He finished his College Gate career with 22 podiums and 6 wins. Let's meet Philip.
Hi guys, I just want to quickly say I'm very privileged and lucky for receiving this award. I want to say thank you to all the coaches and teammates and everyone else who has been next to my side at the University of Colorado last 5 years. And lastly, I want to say enjoy this evening, guys. It's a fun evening, and congratulations to all other award winners.
Congratulations. DU and CU, well represented. Again, we'll make sure he gets his wonderful trophy. The Adaptive Athlete of the Year. This award recognizes athletes with Colorado ties who have distinguished themselves internationally in competition. The 2023 Adaptive Athlete of the Year is Kendall Gresh. I think she is here. Kendall was born with spinal bifida. Sorry. This did not slow her down. So she is a triathlete, biathlete, cross-country skier in both summer and winter. Kendall has the unique distinction of winning gold medals in both summer and winter Olympics. Yes. She has won 4 golds during the Winter Games, but didn't want to stop there. She has won a gold in the Summer Games. That's amazing. She also collected a silver and bronze to complete the whole set. This past January in 2023 at the World Para-Nordic Skiing Championships held in Sweden, Kendall earned 7 total medals in 7 days. Kendall, nothing's stopping you. Come on over here.
Hello, everyone. I just want to say a quick thank you to the Colorado Snowsports Museum. This is really an honor to receive this award. And it's such a cool evening to be here among the community of snow sports in Colorado. And I've made Colorado my home the past 4 years, and so it feels really special to be here tonight with this community. So thank you.
Big round of applause for Kendall. This is a fun one. The 2023 Competitor of the Year. This competitor has to be the top athlete that is competing internationally from Colorado. Does anybody know who that could possibly be? Well, the 2023 award goes to Michaela Schifrin. Michaela lives just down the road, as we know, in Edwards. She's now has become the most decorated alpine skier of all time, winning the most World Cups of any alpine skier ever. A few weeks ago, she was also awarded an ESPY. Michaela has raced now for 13 seasons. She's down in Chile right now preparing for her 14th season. I love doing this. Let's just take a look at the numbers. She's won 53 slaloms, 21 GSs, 5 Super Gs, 3 downhills, 1 alpine combined, 3 city events, 2 parallel slaloms. That's what she's won, for a total of 88 World Cup wins, the most ever. She has the highest win percentage in World Cup history. 138 podiums. And not to mention, she has 5 World Cup overall titles, the big globes, and 10 individual globes, which brings up something funny. The other day, Michaela's mom called me, and she said, I have a crazy request. Apparently, as you can see, her hands are full. One of her globes rolled off the front seat of her Land Rover and busted. we now possess this globe. Michaela and her mom said, if we can find somebody to put a new base on the bottom of this globe, she will donate it to the museum. So Susan, I know you work with metal. Maybe you can find some way that we set this up. This is her 2022-23 giant slalom globe. It just happened to roll off the front seat of the car. I should also mention that Michaela also has 3 Olympic medals, 2 of which are gold. She has 14 World Championship medals and 7 which are gold. Those are harder to break, so those are safe. Basically, anytime Michaela, from at this point on, hits the podium, especially the top step, she is breaking a record. We are watching history be made. It's unbelievable, and it's from Colorado. Michaela is no longer eligible for this award. So what we are going to do with her blessing, from here on out, this award will be called the Michaela Schifrin Competitor of the Year Award, and we will be looking for that next great Colorado athlete. And when Michaela's available, she will be here to award that award. So let's give Michaela a nice round of applause. She did send us a little thank you.
Good evening, everybody. It's Michaela here. I just wanted to thank the Colorado Snowsports Museum for once again giving me this honor of Colorado Competitor of the Year. I honestly, I can't believe it's been 10 times now. I just feel like it was just yesterday that I started racing on the World Cup and started this journey. And I just can't thank you all enough, and Colorado and the Snowsports Museum for always honoring me and recognizing the season that I've had and the work that I do with my whole team, with my coaches and staff and everybody who is so supportive of me. To do what we do and to continue to honor that again and again so many times is just, it's truly incredible. I'm so appreciative. I'm so thankful. So really thank you. And I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening tonight. And to all of the other award recipients, anybody who's been nominated, congratulations to you. It is an incredible honor, and more importantly, it's very deserved. You're so wonderful, and I'm sending you all my best support, cheering for you the whole way. So thank you. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and I'm sorry that I can't be there in person this time around, but maybe next time I'll be able to come and support everybody again. So thank you so much, and gosh, guys, get ready for winter. I'll see you on the slopes.
Nice big round of applause. She can hear us. She's down in Portillo, Chile right now, training for the upcoming season. Our next award, Top of the Hill Award, recognizes institutions or entities that have contributed to the development of skiing in Colorado. The 2023 award recipient of this is SOS Outreach. And I think we have a bunch of them here tonight. No matter what social or societal or economic barriers exist, SOS Outreach believes every child deserves the opportunity to thrive. They start with a powerful outdoor experience on the slopes or trail where kids unearth the courage to step outside their comfort zones, discover new strengths within themselves, and develop lifelong skills. Through SOS Outreach, the progressive curriculum empowers these kids, and they eventually become a benefit to our community. This is amazing. In 1993, SOS has grown exponentially, serving more than 80,000 youth across 15 locations in 9 states. When they humbly began nearly 30 years ago, that took place here with 15 kids in Vail. Here tonight to accept this award is the executive director, Seth Ehrlich, and I think we have a whole bunch of kids here as well, and maybe even the founder. Where are you guys? Come on out here. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Years ago, right here, SOS Outreach started. It was an idea. It was an idea to bring forward the power of sliding on snow to create change, to connect, to inspire, to belong. Everyone here tonight understands what SOS Outreach is. Everyone here understands the impact. Since that start 30 years ago, we've integrated mentoring, a multi-year curriculum, to empower kids and teenagers to discover their true potential. We believe that all youth belong. We are redefining the outdoors as an inclusive space to discover, to foster, and to develop life skills to thrive. At SOS Outreach, we're using skiing and snowboarding to create spaces where kids feel seen and belong, that expands their future potential and impact on the world. As I stand here, I think about all of these kids here and thousands like them. Our kids are exceptional. I am grateful to this community, Vail Resorts, who believed in this vision and who has supported us as we have expanded it now to 15 communities, 25 mountain resorts, 3,000 kids every year of impact. We're engaging kids from 4th grade through 12th grade. Whew! All of you have walked with us in incredibly powerful ways, and together we do more than introduce youth to skiing and snowboarding. We connect them, and through those connections, we transform futures. I want to dedicate this recognition to our entire SOS Outreach community. This award is for you. That's thousands of families, thousands of parents, volunteers, mentors, instructors, teachers, counselors, partners, manufacturers, mountain resorts, retailers, and donors. We have proven what happens when we gather together with a shared idea and a shared purpose. We are stronger together. 80,000 kids demonstrate what happens when you get together around a common idea. And we are just getting started. So to all of you, know the change that you can make when you believe and when you share something that you love. Know the real and lasting impact you can have. As I say at SOS every day, we are doing this, and we have done it, and we will continue to do it. So thank you all. I am humbled to welcome one of our co-founders, Arn Menconi, to also share in this recognition. Arn.
Thank you, Seth. What an amazing leader. Do we have any snowboarders in the house? I want to thank you to the museum, snowboarders, skiers, telliers, dedicated partners, and the beloved SOS family. 30 years ago, SOS Outreach was born from a vision, not just to introduce youth to mountaintop experiences, but to give those young souls who might never have had a chance an opportunity to breathe the fresh mountain air, fall in love with nature, and learn that the world holds infinite possibilities. More than teaching them to shred the slopes, we aim to teach them core values as a compass for life. We instilled in them leadership skills, nurtured their spirits, and then watched with pride as they turned around to mentor other young riders. This journey was never just about snow sports. It was about transformation, about igniting a spark within these young hearts that they too could rise and lead and inspire. Yet this dream wouldn't have taken flight without the collective heartbeats of thousands, perhaps tens of thousands, who gave of themselves to serve others. For every corner of our community, from 36 ski resorts, from New Zealand's peaks to Florida's shores, people came together driven by a grassroots ethos to serve, to uplift, and to create a tidal wave of positive change to make a difference, to be the difference they wish to see in the world. To all who have been part of this movement, who believe that service to our youth is the noblest of pursuits, we offer our deepest gratitude. You are the backbone of SOS Outreach, the circle of love that keeps growing. As we stand at the cusp of another chapter, let's remain committed to our mission, to open doors, touch lives, and to let every soul know every moment is a chance to spread the love. Thank you.
Hey, lady. Something on your tongue, I'll take it. Now it's coming out my mouth like rabies. So now I got the
Nice round of applause. SOS Outreach.
but hey, lady, you put me on the line like linen. So I just
That's what it's about. Sharing this sport, gliding down mountains, it only brings good things about. This is a very special award. The Lifetime Achievement Award recognizes individuals or organizations who have made an outstanding contribution to the Colorado Snowsports Hall of Fame. This one, I feel like I'm actually honoring part of my family. The 2023 award represents and is going to be given to Renee and David Gorsuch. I have known this Gorsuch family my entire life. My parents actually shared the snow with the Gorsuches back in Crest Butte in the 60s. This is such an honor for me to share these words tonight. The Colorado Snowsports Museum may not even exist if it wasn't for David and Renee. Continued support and belief in the work for the museum does in preserving our rich heritage. We can really thank their perseverance in making this happen. Before, during, and after the museum's renovation, the Gorsuch family has always been there to support. They understand the importance of maintaining snow sports history, especially ours here in Colorado. Through their outstanding efforts, contributions to the museum, the Hall of Fame, the museum has been able to keep the doors open even through the toughest of times. Now it has become a leading museum of all snow sports history and throughout the country. The Colorado Snowsports Museum was even called upon last October to curate the exhibition for when President of the United States came here to visit Camp Hale and designate Camp Hale as a national monument. They called upon Jen Mason and the resources of the museum to represent that. That's absolutely mind-boggling. And what an honor that we now have a national monument right out our back door. David and Renee's role in preserving snow sports history will be appreciated for generations to come, especially their generations. The Gorsuch family have taken this to a new level. Even in our Hall of Fame, there are 4 generations of Gorsuch. Jack Gorsuch, 1991. David Gorsuch, 2002. Renee, 2007. And more recently, Jeff Gorsuch in 2019. I ask that you all stand for Renee Gorsuch and the Gorsuch family as they are the recipients of this wonderful achievement, lifetime achievement.
Thank you very much. Hall of Fame inductees and annual, am I doing it right?
I really want them to hear you.
Okay. Hall of Fame inductees and annual recognition award honorees, congratulations. We are here today to hear your stories. Your stories will become part of our museum. David loved the museum, and he worked with Susie for 13 years, and we have come such a long way. I am filled with joy today, being here with you. So many friends. What a gift our life as skiing has been. My fabulous husband, David, who passed away in June of 2021, is here too. As you know, David and I are receiving this Lifetime Achievement Award together. David and I have had a fabulous life together. The story of two skiers, one born to the deep powder of Colorado, the other to the wind-swept slopes of New England and the Adirondacks. The story of our life is the story of love, the sport of skiing and our family, business family, ski industry family, and Olympic family. It began, though, with our love for the sport of skiing. At 15, it's a long time ago, we were among the medal winners at the 1954 Junior Nationals in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. This moved us up to the ladder to wonderful years of competitive skiing, training to the Olympics. As members of the 1960 Olympic team, these two skiers traveled the world, fell in love, and married. Started a family and a very small ski shop. Our life together began in Paradise, an abandoned gas station in romantic Gunnison, Colorado, a place so cold, so very cold, that February lost 2 days to frostbite there. Through work and commitment and vision, we converted a dilapidated standard station into a ski shop. Barnboard and burlap. Goodbye carburetors, hello cable bindings. Crested Butte's Fred Rice enticed David to become the mountain manager. I ran the little store and fit the boots. David mounted the skis and we delivered them in the evening. And we had 2 very small children. If you want to fuel your dreams, start your business in an abandoned gas station. If you want to learn about a man's character, listen to those who know how he works and the way he loves his wife. As we left Crested Butte, we had the opportunity to open a store in Vail in 1966, 4 years after it first opened, with 1 gondola, 2 chairlifts, 8 ski instructors, and 9 runs. The opportunity was irresistible. We figured in a few years, Vail might be twice that big. We underestimated. Our friends from the ski industry became part of our family. We learned about business together. Young entrepreneurs never losing the love for our sport, energetic, full of dreams, waiting to embrace the world. We wanted to turn the key on something we could be proud of. David was always the cornerstone of our business and of our family. As we look back, our skiing years and our experiences, the mountains, the resorts, the people, the towns, have influenced what our life and what our business has become. We're really not here today because of any brilliance. We simply showed up, worked hard, loved what we do, and we always surrounded ourselves with really great people. Doing okay? We made every mistake you could make. But I think because of our racing background, we picked ourselves up, brushed off the snow, gathered our gear, and tried a new line. I think part of our success came from treating everyone like family. Yes, David loved family. But family isn't those who just carry our name. Family is everyone who has worked with Gorsuch over the last 60-some plus years. Salespeople, ski tuners, warehouse staff, truck drivers, baristas, and all our ski industry vendors. Family means every child we gave ski equipment to for so many winters so that they could experience the joy of skiing without financial burden to their family. And our family was bigger still. It included everyone who entered the Gorsuch store. To simply wander in, to look around and say hello, to make a purchase, and those who step inside to take shelter from the cold. I'm skipping this page because they said you can only have 5 minutes. John, Jeff, and Davy, who had their ideas, have been in this business for so many years. We are so proud of our sons. They grew up in our home and in our business. They brought their own new ideas to fruition. Park City, they took us to Park City. Ski cafes, the first one in Aspen, then Vail right on Bridge Street. Coming this winter, Snowmass. Always looking to the future. They conduct themselves with their own infectious smiles, welcoming greeting, always willing to meet, listen, and share advice and ideas with our industry friends and partners. Thank you, John, Jeff, and Davy. I guarantee you the family will always continue to support this museum. Thank you, everyone here. You have graciously made this honor possible. David, honey, I know I'll see you later. The kids send their love, and everyone here says hi and congratulations. Hard to believe it all started in an abandoned gas station. Thank you. Thank you, honey.
The Gorsuch can have as much time as they want. They've done a lot. The kids must be proud. They got something really to look forward to as a family legacy. Another legacy, I really want to thank the production tonight, EF 4K Productions. Their continued partnership with the Colorado Snowsports Museum. We have Hayden back there. Again, I have personally been had a relationship with this company back to when John Everson started the company out of a small office in Lion's Head. It was there where I harnessed my first editing skills. So I want to thank John, and I want to thank Hayden for always believing in me. Thank you, guys. And thank you for believing in this museum. Hayden carried on the company. The award-winning team, he has traveled all over the country. For this, he did over 600 interviews and has now created over 130 of these tribute videos. Good job, Hayden. All of these videos can be seen in the museum. They're all stored there. Again, the importance of our museum. This year, as many years, John Denkin wrote the script for these. John, are you in the house here? Where are you, John? There he is in the back there. This year's videos, the editors were Mark Grimaldi, Baker Jones, and Liam Scott. That's a lot of work. Let's give them a nice round of applause. And I want to thank you for that continued support to the museum, Hayden, and the rest of the team. We're going to move on to another induction here. This one's very, very special. If you've been around the ski industry like I have, you've rolled across this individual. More important, if you're one of those winter sports consumers that's stuck in an office somewhere far from where we're at right now, dreaming about their winter vacation, most likely they've read an article or been inspired by some blog or even a book by Seth Mejia. Seth's writing, and more recently, keeping track of ski history through the Skiing History Association, has made him one of the most influential people in the industry. Tonight, we're going to honor Seth, but first we're going to show you a little of his background. This wonderful video done by Eve Productions is narrated by the famous Peter Graves.
To say that Seth Mejia's 50-year inspirational career and influence as a Colorado-based skiing and ski history author, editor, publisher, executive, and web designer is unparalleled still seems a bit like the mother of all understatements.
He is a walking encyclopedia of skiing history. Ski equipment, skis, boots, binding, poles, ski areas, companies in the industry. And I mean, you can ask Seth sort of anything.
Growing up in Chicago, Seth was given cross-country skis at the age of 10 and played broom hockey on the frozen ponds. While attending the University of Chicago, he began his eventual career editing technical material, including high school science textbooks. He first used alpine skis during a mountaineering trip to Chamonix during the summer of 1968, coming to Steamboat Springs for real ski lessons in 1971. After moving to Manhattan in 1973, Seth helped launch the successful Backpacker magazine, coming to the attention of ski magazine editor John Fry. He became a full-time ski journalist in 1974 when Fry hired him as an editor and writer at Ski. Seth would also serve as editor of Ski Business and managing editor of Cross Country Ski.
I think, like most topics, you have to be authentic and know your subject matter. And Seth, having visited most of the ski factories in Europe and talking with ski and boot designers and boot factories also, that gives him a solid basis for factual reporting, in addition to being a good skier himself. Growing up in New York and not being in a ski environment, when he got into a ski environment, he became really excited about it, and I think he's kept that enthusiasm throughout his career.
He wrote about all aspects of skiing around the world, returning to Colorado for several weeks each winter to research stories. His reporting on Colorado's resorts, personalities, ski touring hut systems, and ski and boot manufacturers reached national and international audiences on the page of Ski and Outside. Seth became a regular contributor to the British ski magazine, Ski Area Management, and assorted newspapers. He covered the 1980 and 84 Winter Olympics, along with the 1989, 1993, and 1999 FIS Alpine World Championships. His articles won NASJA's Harold Hirsch Award. Over the course of 2 decades, working under 3 editorial directors and 4 ownership corporations, Seth's editing and writing skills helped Ski Magazine grow its audited paid circulation to 440,000. This was an era when Ski published 8 issues per year, plus 12 issues of Ski Business. In order to write with authority on ski technique, he earned PSIA Level 3 certification in 1987, while improving his chops as an authority on ski equipment, working as a product manager for K2 Skis during the 1993-1994 seasons, helping to launch the Shape Ski revolution.
Seth is very passionate, has a great sense of humor, and really enjoys helping people, especially something as much fun as skiing.
Seth particularly loves to work with people that like to learn and see them advance. And certainly when they're here for a week's vacation and take a group lesson that may be 3 times with Seth, they learn a lot and then they take off and they continue to learn.
From 1987 to 2004, Seth published half a dozen books on ski resorts, ski history, ski technique, and ski equipment, helping to educate skiers and popularizing skiing in Colorado around the English-speaking world. In 1994, Ski sent Seth to Boulder as its first full-time editorial staffer there, with a specific assignment to serve as founding editor of skinet.com, the first commercially successful website devoted to skiing. Among other innovations, he pioneered real-time online reporting of ski races and created the first blog reporting format before it even had a name. Drawing content from ski and skiing magazines, Skinet was a resounding success, with audience growth of 20% per week during its first 2 winters. In 1996, Skinet was one of 5 finalists in the first round of Webby Awards and was named a top 100 website by Personal Computing magazine. Seth was then recruited by Microsoft to be the sports and recreation producer for the website MSN Sidewalk, based in Denver. There he created an encyclopedic online guide to skiing in the Rocky Mountains. Beginning in 1998, he taught 23 winners in ski schools at Beaver Creek, Vail, Aspen Snowmass, and Squaw Valley, now Palisades Tahoe. In 2001, John Fry recruited Seth to write for Ski History magazine, then titled Skiing Heritage. Concurrently, he joined the board of directors of the Colorado Snowsports Museum and Hall of Fame, and was tasked by Chairman Dave Gorsuch with reorganizing the museum's website. He also helped to date and authenticate skis, boots, and bindings in the museum's collection. Seth was elected president of the International Ski History Association and served as publisher of its magazine Skiing History, becoming editor of the magazine in 2020. He also manages the extensive skiinghistory.org website.
Seth had ascended as president of ISHA and the senior editor of the magazine Skiing History, and it continues seamlessly today, having doubled its subscribers.
These days, Seth calls Paonia, Colorado home. Over the course of his 5-decade love affair with the ski industry, he's worked in ski retail, resort management, and ski manufacturing, and he is an unparalleled writer, editor, and steward of skiing history. We are pleased and honored to welcome Seth Mejia to the Colorado Snowsports Hall of Fame as a member of the class of 2023.
Let's please welcome Seth Mejia and his wife, Gail Carey. Come on out here, Seth. Come get your... There you are. I'll read this. And his beautiful daughter. Seth Mejia, having been elected by your peers into the Colorado Snowsports Hall of Fame and representing the millions of skiers and snowboarders across Colorado, we hereby bestow upon you the highest award in Colorado Snowsports.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Like a lot of kids, I worshipped superheroes when I was a kid. A superhero represented the freedom we didn't have, eating our oatmeal and shuffling off to school in the morning.
My superhero began to emerge when I learned to sail and drive and take flying lessons, but he really came to life only when I learned to ski. Bursting out of a dull daily existence into glorious high-speed freedom in the clouds of powder up in the sky. I may be the last person under this roof who learned to ski at leather boots and wooden skis. That was in 1968. Historical times. It was an era of war, shootings, sit-ins, riots, the rise of Richard Nixon. In our sport, it saw the transition from leather to plastic boots, fiberglass skis, the World Cup, Avery Brundage, pro racing and freestyle, efficient bindings, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. 50 years later, I find myself in the history business, fronting for the International Skiing History Association. I like to remind my friends that in this decade we celebrate 100 years, a century of alpine skiing. 100 years ago, the whole concept of a timed slalom race was only 1 year old, invented by a bunch of eccentric Britons on holiday in Switzerland. The first Winter Olympics was held in February 1924. We'll celebrate its centenary this winter. The steel edge was patented in 1928 and became popular for slalom and downhill in 1930 at the very first Lauberhorn races. 1928 was also the year alpine skiers locked their heels down for the first time, thanks to a French-speaking Swiss music box maker named Guido Rouge. The International Ski Federation was founded in 1924, and I hope to attend their party next spring. So if you're my age, you've lived through more than 75% of the entire history of alpine skiing as we know it. The history of our sport is your story. It's our story. It's not exactly dull stuff. It includes a lot of heroism, a lot of creativity, rowdy behavior, rivalry, controversy, and headbutting. We've seen most of the sport's history with our own eyes. We know who really should get credit creating this magical world we love. If we don't record it and remember what went down, the kids will think they invented it all. I need to thank Dick Bohr and John Fry, who hired me back in the early 70s, and Dave Gorsuch, who brought me into the Colorado Ski Museum board 20 years ago, and Dean Erickson and Rick Moulton for nominating me, and John Kirshner for 5 decades of wisdom, and Gail and Cleo for tolerating my eccentricities, and all of you for supporting your local ski museum and read skiing history. Thank you.
Nice round of applause for Seth. Get in there, family. Get that photo. What a contribution to our sport. This next inductee hits really close to home for me because myself and Chris Davenport were two of the people that tried to get her in here. I met Hillary Nelson early on in her professional skiing career, testing skis in Aspen, as well as doing a few Warren Miller films with her. This was quite a remarkable person that even back then, before all that she did, I saw something glimmer that was something amazing. I lost track of her, but she started pushing the limits. We lost Hillary, this very unique individual, and I'm just so honored that we're able to record and keep her here in our museum and her history. This is a very special, special person, and we did a video that wasn't easy. Hayden did it, but they had a lot of material to gather from. The narrator on this video is also an extraordinary alpinist that was perfect for doing this because she has stood on many of the same summits as Hillary Nelson. Let's introduce you to Hillary Nelson.
Journalists, professional mountaineers, and industry professionals have called the Telluride-based Hillary Nelson the best ski mountaineer of her time. From 2000 to 2020, she racked up first descents down some of the world's tallest and most remote mountains. Her mark on snow sports, extreme athletes, non-athletes, young girls and women is indelible and felt by her community, Colorado, and the world. However, Hillary referred to herself as an adventurer, as her resume is also full of expeditions to unexplored mountains from Baffin Island to Burma. She passionately advocated for the protection of wild places and sensible climate policy through work with Protect Our Winters. Hillary's legacy began with her seemingly impossible accomplishments as a ski mountaineer, but is lasting because of her humility, grace, honesty, and authenticity as a human being. Simply put, there is no other snow sports athlete in recent history who has influenced as many people locally and globally as Hillary Nelson. Hillary's love affair with the mountains in Colorado was manifested in the early 1990s during her years as a college student at Colorado College. There, she spent her weekends and breaks exploring, climbing, and mountaineering. She became hooked and obsessed.
Hillary's days in Colorado College really exposed her to the mountains here and gave her a deep love for the Rockies and the mountains of Colorado, and she ended up many years later moving here and spending most of her life here.
Hillary spent a few seasons in Chamonix, France, chasing big lines and inadvertently building a mountaineering resume that would land her a sponsorship with the North Face and a lifelong career planning and executing expeditions to the most remote places and highest mountains in the world, places she explored on skis. Tragically, she died during a ski descent of Mount Manaslu in Nepal, the 8th highest peak in the world, in September of 2022. Around 2000, Hillary moved to Telluride, where she was a beloved resident, mom, friend, athlete, and community member until her death. She cherished her life partner and had 2 sons as her career was peaking.
My mom had a lot on her plate, especially with me and Quinn. I would say she was really good at balancing her time because even though she had a lot on her plate, she was able to organize it well, making sure we're happy and making sure that she can go on her trips and being prepared for all of that.
She was this, it was basically like her vacation, and I wouldn't see her for a week and I wouldn't be worried about it. I'd be excited for her and I'd call her every night and try to cheer her on.
As an athlete and captain of the North Face athlete team, she was a mentor to generations of mountaineers and a pioneer and inspiration, especially for women. Despite her amazing accomplishments as a mountaineer, she is most remembered for her humility, empathy, and the authentic relationships she created, both at home in Telluride and across the globe.
She'd go away for, these periods of time, and she'd be in, her work mode, so to speak, and then she'd come home and she was fully in mother mode and just wanted to be with her kids and do things with her kids, and always wanted to be at, every lacrosse game, every ski race.
She was an incredible people person and loved community, and she put a lot into whatever she did, and everything she put into the community gave back to her and loved her back.
I'd say my mom loved living in Telluride because it, reminded her of the mountains, which was her favorite thing in the world, besides me and Quinn, of course. And so I guess because she would ski almost every day she could, it reminded her of being free in the mountains and being able to do what you want.
Her incredible mountaineering feats included summiting Mount Everest and Lhotse in 2012 and becoming the first female to climb 2 8,000-meter peaks in 24 hours. In 2018, she completed the first ski descent of the Dream Line from the summit of Lhotse in Nepal.
Together we climbed Lhotse and made the first ski descent from the summit of Lhotse, which is the 4th highest mountain in the world. It was really a dream come true for both of us and something that she had been working towards her whole life and career.
Skiing Lhotse with Jim was an incredible highlight for her, an unbelievable experience, I think, for both of them, and just really powerful on a lot of levels. You know, coming off of that trip, she was just thrilled with how that went.
That same year, she was named one of National Geographic's Adventurers of the Year and tabbed as captain of the Global North Face Athlete Team, an honor previously held only by Conrad Anker. The following year, she joined Protect Our Winters athletes in Washington, D.C., urging Congress to act on climate change. In addition to her global accomplishments, Hillary summited, skied, and climbed the endless peaks, paths, and peaks of Colorado. The mountains of Telluride were her training ground, and she did as many, if not more, local expeditions with friends and everyday outdoors people as she did the grander, sponsored expeditions. Recreation in the mountains was her way of life. Her accomplishments would advance mountaineering, but have the greatest impact on the next generation of women. Inspired and empowered all who were lucky enough to know her.
I think Hillary's legacy is a real passionate example of someone who's able to influence many, many people through their dreams and their desires, and that pushing her own limits helped so many people see a path for themselves. Just having a grit and determination to go be someone special and do it gender neutral.
World-renowned professional climber and North Face teammate Emily Harrington said, "Hillary paved the way for women in the adventure sports space with her refusal to choose between motherhood and her athletic career. She showed us that we could be everything, follow our passion, as well as raise a family." We are pleased and honored to welcome Hillary Nelson to the Colorado Snowsports Hall of Fame as a member of the class of 2023.
Accepting Hillary's honor is her partner, climbing partner and partner, Jim Morrison. Jim, in honor of Hillary, having been elected by her peers into the Colorado Snowsports Hall of Fame and representing the millions of skiers and snowboarders across Colorado, we hereby bestow upon you the highest reward in Colorado Snowsports. This is for Hillary and you.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Jim Morrison, Hillary's partner, and I'm honored to be here tonight to accept this award on her behalf. I'd like to thank the Colorado Snowsports Museum and Hall of Fame, along with the staff and volunteers that are preserving the legacies of all these folks being inducted this evening. Hillary's path through her career was full of passion and persistence. The mission of Colorado Snowsports Hall of Fame is to celebrate snowsports by telling stories that educate and inspire others to seek adventure. Hillary Nelson was an extraordinary gift to the snowsports and adventure communities. At Colorado College, she started to really lean into the sport and began taking time off to spend large chunks of time skiing. Her adventures across Colorado eventually led her to Chamonix and on to the Great Ranges of the world. In 1999, the North Face asked Hillary to join an expedition in India. She liked to tell the story that they confirmed with her that she had the experience with helicopters and she'd been winter camping. Hillary jumped at this opportunity and confirmed her breadth of experience. This launched her career as a skier and as an adventurer. At this point, she had never been in a helicopter and she had not been winter camping. She figured it out along the way. Hillary planned and participated in 40 similar expeditions all over the world. She skied where few, if any, had before. Her list of accolades is long and includes some of the highest and most audacious descents in the Himalaya, along with a passionate desire to climb and ski in places like the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, with an aim to preserve and protect these wild places. Hillary had a deep passion for climate advocacy, and through Protect Our Winters, she made a big impression in Washington, D.C., in places like Davos, where she spoke alongside climate supporters like Al Gore. Telluride, Colorado was Hillary's home and where she raised her two boys. She was a beacon of light throughout her hometown and across Snowsports communities all over Colorado. Last September, Hillary passed away skiing high in the Himalayas. When news of her passing got out, some say she broke the internet. The outpouring of support and stories from all over the world are a testament to her lifetime of truly inspiring others to seek adventure. Millions of people felt the loss of this iconic and inspirational athlete and mother. Hillary has been called the greatest ski mountaineer of our time, and she worked her whole life to make that a non-gender specific statement. I'd like to thank all of those that helped Hillary along the way. That first pair of skis she got for free, the photographers and the camera people that worked to document things. She started with modeling one-piece ski outfits and eventually became the captain of the North Face athlete team. Her career was being this driven athlete and a mentor to many, but her purpose in life was bigger than that. Her purpose was to help us live passionately, to seek to make a difference, and to never sit back and be a comfortable bystander to life. I accept this honor for her family and her friends and our great mountain communities. Thank you to the sponsors, the devoted ski bums, and the culture that encourages people like Hillary to make a lasting impression on all of us. I think she succeeded in leaving this world and skiing a better place than she found it. Thank you.
That is huge. Lucinda, you owe me. I've known the Dailies since Andy pulled my pass when I was like 6 years old at Copper. It's amazing how small this world is. He was a ski patrolman at Copper Mountain. My parents were ski instructors, and so I've known the Dailies for so long. This is a wonderful family to come home to all the time. All right, thank you all for that amazing generosity. We're moving on with the next inductee. This person has had profound effect on thousands of lives around us. I can't even tell you the impact that somebody like this, it's too far-reaching. But before I bring Cheryl Jensen out here, and let's give her already a nice round of applause. And I want her to hear something, because this is even more serendipitous, Cheryl, because I don't think she knows this. She hasn't seen her video yet. The tribute video that Hayden did, though, Hayden and Jen called me a few months ago, and they had no idea where I was at. And they go, Chris, we have this idea this year. We want different people to narrate the different videos. Do you think that you, by chance, can reach out to somebody in the military and have them be the narrator of Cheryl's video? I was actually in a rental car driving to Fort Drum, New York, to receive an award at Fort Drum the home of the 10th Mountain Division. I, about 20 minutes later, met the commanding general of the 10th Mountain Division, and before I shook his hand, I told him about Cheryl and what she's done. And then I said, oh, my name is Chris Anthony, but will you narrate Cheryl's induction video? So the narrator of tonight's tribute video for Cheryl Jensen is the current commanding general of the 10th Mountain Division, General Gregory Anderson. Let's see the video.
There seems to be an endless supply of people these days, more than willing to talk about how much good they are doing. Well, some of them actually deliver. Many of the people that truly make a difference day in and day out are usually the ones that do an incredible amount of good while managing to steer the spotlight away from themselves. Suffice to say that Cheryl Jensen is the latter. Her volunteer work and dedication first touched the world when she and others hatched a plan to distribute retired ski resort employee uniforms to impoverished areas in cold weather climates around the globe. She established the nonprofit Sharing Warmth Around the Globe, or SWAG, in 2000 to repurpose ski resort uniforms that were no longer being used from ski areas across Colorado. The program was such a success that she expanded the effort, partnering with the National Ski Areas Association to handle the administration of the program. Through these efforts, Cheryl created a way for ski areas across the country to come together in a unified way to make an impact around the world. SWAG has now distributed over 300,000 pieces of winter clothing to communities in over 30 countries since its inception.
SWAG really preceded the Vail Veterans Program. Cheryl saw that uniforms were being stored by all the ski resorts after they'd been used. And she said, this is crazy. We've got to get them on the backs of people who need them. She gathered us all together because she is magic in her way of inspiring people around her. And we sent these coats everywhere.
When Cheryl put her efforts behind getting recycled ski gear to those in need, Cheryl persevered through teamwork. She gathered the efforts of her networks to accomplish this mission.
In 2004, while working in Washington, D.C. for the SWAG program, Cheryl learned about the badly injured veterans from the war in Iraq that were receiving care at Walter Reed Hospital. As a former adaptive ski instructor, Cheryl knew the healing powers of snow sports on individuals with physical and mental disabilities. She devised a plan to bring a group of veterans to Vail to learn to ski. Back home in Vail, several months later, Cheryl met Captain Dave Roselle, who had lost his leg serving in Iraq. She told him of her idea. He told her that if she could raise the money to fund and organize the program, he would commit to getting wounded soldiers to participate. Cheryl was determined, raising the necessary funding and bringing together a multitude of partners to donate the in-kind services needed to bring her vision to life. In March of 2004, 7 wounded veterans flew from Walter Reed to Vail for what was supposed to be a one-time event. However, the impact of that experience was so life-changing that Cheryl knew that they had created something special, and the effort had to continue.
The determination that Cheryl showed to get the Vail Veterans Program off the ground was simply by her manner, the way about her. She could go to people and say, you know, this is something that we'd like to do to help these wounded vets, and you'd come away saying, I want to help, I want to participate, I want to be part of this.
And so the Vail Veterans Program was born. The following year, Joyce Rumsfeld attended in order for her to connect with the veterans directly, and a year later, she was accompanied by her husband, the Secretary of Defense, Donald Rumsfeld. The Rumsfelds learned firsthand about the wounds of war and connected with the participants and their families through their experiences on the mountain.
My favorite story about Cheryl was when we brought all the veterans to the firehouse for our final dinner for her winter program, and she got Don Rumsfeld and Joyce Rumsfeld to slide down the fire pole and do a shot of tequila. you know, who gets her down a fire pole and doing a shot of tequila? I mean, that's Cheryl. She's authentic.
Through Cheryl's tireless efforts, the Vail Veterans Program is now a world-class therapeutic program providing innovative offerings that build confidence and create lifelong connections among its participants, all free of charge. Most veterans that participate attend directly from Walter Reed, as well as Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio and the Naval Medical Center in San Diego.
She understood and appreciated the power of being on the mountain, the power of skiing, and what it could do to change the lives and change the trajectory of families that made great sacrifice.
Having that foundation, understanding the fundamentals, the logistics, everything that goes into getting, you know, a 300-pound military veteran missing one or multiple limbs on a monoski, up the mountain, down the mountain safely. I mean, you know, it's no small feat. And I think that, you know, her background was extremely helpful in shaping this program and ensuring that these veterans are safe and that they have a great time.
The Vail Veterans Program has now served over 3,000 severely wounded veterans and their families and caregivers, hosting 450 participants per year in winter and summer programs. They also offer military caregiver retreats designed specifically to empower and confront the specific challenges that caregivers face.
As time went on, Cheryl recognized that the whole family was involved when there was an injured member. She brought families out here. She continues to do that, and it's magical what it does for a family.
Cheryl's veteran ambassadors return to work with new participants, providing camaraderie and understanding that is not always available through adaptive programs serving the public. The unique approach takes veterans directly from the Veterans Administration hospitals and introduces them to the natural beauty and generosity of the people living in the Vail Valley. By keeping veterans active from the beginning of their recovery, their mental and physical health is greatly improved, giving hope and confidence in their future. Many veterans who have experienced the Vail Veterans Program have made Colorado their homes, becoming leaders in their communities and champions in life.
Cheryl recognized that with the Vail's Veterans Program, she could not only change their life, but save their life.
As a result of her efforts on behalf of our honored veterans, Cheryl has received numerous awards and recognition, including the Outstanding Public Service Medal from the Secretary of Defense, the Women's Outstanding Work Award from the Women's Foundation of Colorado, the Outstanding Civilian Servant from the Chief of Staff of the Army, and the Women in Industry Award from the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame.
It's learning how to relive our lives and make the most of our lives. And that sense of empowerment, that sense of accomplishment cannot be replaced. In the healing of a service member, but really their entire family. And I start first with myself in experiencing that. I'm here because the Vail Veterans Program saved my life.
On behalf of the 10th Mountain Division, the United States Army, and the entire United States Armed Forces, we congratulate you, Cheryl. We are pleased and honored to welcome Cheryl Jensen to the Colorado Snowsports Hall of Fame as a member of the class of 2023.
How about that? Accepting the award tonight will be Cheryl Jensen, but she's going to be escorted by her amazing husband, Bill Jensen. We also have Marine Sergeant Chris Bessmeyer, Army Sergeant Tim Johansson. We have Colonel Greg Gatson. And I do believe we have the fire department, the Vail Fire Department. What a special night. What a special inductee. Bill, I'm going to let you read this proclamation to your wife.
This is with immense pride that I share this proclamation. Cheryl Jensen, having been elected by your peers into the Colorado Snowsports Hall of Fame and representing the millions of skiers and snowboarders across Colorado, we hereby bestow upon you the highest award in Colorado snowsports.
Wow, more cowbell. More cowbell. More cowbell. Wow, this is an incredible honor, and thank you whoever lent me these glasses, because I definitely need them. I want to thank Jen Mason and the Colorado Snowsports Museum team for all your hard work for tonight. I want to thank Sarah and Treg for your nomination. I am very, very humbled by this. Congratulations to all those tonight that won awards and to those who are being inducted. I'm honored to be in the class of 2023 with you. This has truly been an incredible journey, and some of it you heard on the video, but who would have had the thought that having an idea of sending retired ski resort uniforms to cold weather countries through the Department of Defense would spawn an idea to bring wounded service members to Colorado to teach them to ski? Kind of crazy. So in 2003, months after the war in Iraq had begun, I found myself at the Pentagon. Not sure how I got in there, Susie. But I'm in the Pentagon and met a woman who had just returned from Walter Reed. And I asked her, what is Walter Reed? I honestly had no idea. She shared with me the horrific injuries our servicemen and women in uniform had endured. And through tears, I said, let's bring them skiing. As fate would have it, in December of 2003, I met then Captain David Roselle at an event in Vail just months after he lost his leg below the knee. I told him my idea, and he said, quote unquote, ma'am, you raise the money and organize it, and I'll get you some wounded soldiers. So in March of 2004, we hosted 7 wounded soldiers from Walter Reed. Fast forward where we are today, we've hosted over 3,500 wounded service members and their families in a variety of transformational programs. I am really honored. How lucky am I, right, to be on stage with all these incredible people. But I'm standing here today with some of our alumni, Chris, TJ, and Greg, who are true American heroes, but I am very blessed to call them my friends. Chris, right here, I'm sure you remember this. I met him while he was laying in his hospital bed at Walter Reed, just days after he lost his legs. I handed him a trail map of Vail, and 3 months later, he was here skiing in our program. And like it was said in the video, skiing has changed his life, but he has shared with many of us here that it also has saved his life. Chris taught me the difference between a soldier and a Marine. Do you remember that? Yeah. At the time, I did not know, but I definitely know now. Thank you for that very important difference. TJ has attended several of our winter programs, and I'll say that he enjoys skiing, but he discovered his passion through our golf program. He said, golf helps reinforce the need to put your immediate past behind you and learn to keep moving forward, and he has done that. Greg, how do you explain Greg Gatson? Greg and his family came to our first family program in 2007. They were a family that had been through a lot, as Greg almost didn't survive his injuries. His kids were 13 and 14 when he was injured, and their lives were turned upside down. Gabby, his daughter, came back to volunteer with Vail Veterans Program several times. When she was 18, she shared with me what our program meant to her, and she said, through skiing, I realized my dad was going to be okay. That's a true statement. Incredible. Greg, he learned to mono-ski here in Vail, and he has been here how many times now to ski? Endless, let's say endless.
But I'll say, and I know there are some Vail Resorts people here, and I'm sorry for this, Jeff Wiles. He has clocked himself at 50 miles an hour, is that right? Yeah, 51, Bill said, but I think it was 50, I don't know. But I truly share this award, and when I look out in the audience, I almost can't look at you, I'll get too emotional, but I share it with many that are here today who have supported our mission, and whether you're a donor, a volunteer, an employee, past or current, our instructors, our guides, Vail Resorts, the town of Vail, Vail Fire Department, they have been with us from the very beginning. I want to thank my husband, Bill. Yeah. I've had a lot of crazy ideas through time, some good, some not so good, and he has given me his encouragement, his love, his support, and I love you very much. Thank you. Lastly, I want to thank a very special group of people that are here today. I want to thank all the first responders and the veterans, and if you are able, I would like you to stand. I would like all of us to thank them for their service and for their sacrifice, and I want you all to know that your service will never be forgotten. So please stand. VFW, first responders, please stand, please. Jim Donahue, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, believe it or not, that's all I have, other than I'll just give a very heartfelt thank you for all of you to being here to support the Colorado Snowsports Museum. This is a truly great honor, and I'm very humbled, so thank you very much.
Wow, greatness creates greatness. Such a great group. Congratulations, Cheryl. What a troop. That's going to be an amazing picture right there. I like Cheryl's song. Ain't no mountain higher. Ain't no mountain high enough for Cheryl. We are on to our final and very special inductee. Our final amazing inductee tonight is truly a person of amazing character, charisma, and ambition, as you will see. John Norton has had one amazing career, and you're going to learn about that tonight, and it's going to be told to you by a wonderful narrator by the name of Greg Lewis.
During John Norton's career in Crested Butte and Aspen, he simply made the Colorado ski resorts and communities better and set new standards for excellence in the resort industry. His contributions to marketing programs, special events, community alliance building, and guest experience encouraged other resort leaders to seek out new opportunities and programs to keep pace.
John loved the ski industry. He served on so many boards and contributed so much of his time in order to make the ski industry the best it could be.
He was just such a great mentor, an inspiring leader, never afraid to embrace change and try something new, but always have your back and be really supportive. And I think the whole industry continues to benefit from that mentorship.
Having grown up in Pittsburgh when steel mills still colored the sky gray, John jumped at the chance to attend bucolic Dartmouth College. Dartmouth, he said, was the best school I knew that was also in a clean and natural place, in the middle of beautiful mountains, rivers, and streams. Following graduation in 1977, John dreamed of going west, but marriage changed his plans. The allure of mountains yielded to different responsibilities as he launched a career with Procter & Gamble. In 1985, John embraced new opportunity, leading American Airlines' introduction of flights into Gunnison and Crested Butte, Colorado. John and his wife Robin, a former Dartmouth ski team member and Eastern Regional team coach, jumped at the chance. John headed the marketing department in Crested Butte until 1991. The pioneering airline programs became successful, and American Airlines expanded to Steamboat, Jackson Hole, Eagle, and Montrose Telluride.
When we had just started with American Airlines, Ralph Walton, John, and I called on the Vice President of Marketing at American Airlines. When you're in the ski business, people love skiing, so we had access that we shouldn't have had, but we had it. And we walked into a meeting, and the VP said, "What do you want?" And John said, "I need 100 free airline tickets for a promotion." He said, "Done. What else do you want?" And John said, "That's it. Let's go to lunch." Well, Ralph and I said, no, we've got a presentation. We'd like to show it to you. And we walked through that presentation, and at the end of it, we had about talked him out of it. And as we left the meeting, John said, "When you get the order, you shut up and leave." That's sales 101. And I'll never forget that one.
He was elected to the Crested Butte Town Council, while also founding the Crested Butte Physically Challenged Ski Program. He recruited former First Lady Rosalind Carter onto the board. The Nortons and Carters remain friends today.
The annual fundraiser was called Snowfest, and the highlight of the event was Comedy Night. Now, President Carter distinguished himself in the 1988 event as Karnak the Magnificent, turban and all. He had the audience roaring. Now, after the Carters returned home, Mrs. Carter sent the program a donation for $500 with a note from President Carter to tell John that he'd come back if he didn't have to perform.
And in Crested Butte, Adaptive is probably, if not one of the, favorite nonprofits in the community. And it's a true institution now in Crested Butte. It's got the newest building up at the base of the ski area. Everyone in town loves what they do and are very supportive, and it's in large part because of what John and Robin at the time did.
Though Crested Butte was growing, it struggled to overcome retention issues, limited skiing terrain, and capital constraints. Always an innovator, John paid for the North Face Platter Poma lift from his marketing budget, nearly doubling skiable acreage on the mountain, including new super steep slopes. California, Alaska, and British Columbia would no longer own extreme skiing in North America.
And John walks into the office and says, "I have a $2 million marketing budget, right? Right? So I want to buy a lift with it." What? He wanted to put a Poma lift up on the North Face, and we were going to open up 500 acres of extreme terrain for $400,000. So John bought the lift out of his marketing budget, and we had the largest expansion in Colorado that year, and got just tremendous amount of notoriety about our extreme terrain.
Crested Butte's North Face changed the landscape. Other Colorado ski areas added steep terrain as well, but Crested Butte hosted the North American Extreme Skiing Championships. John built on that success and convinced ESPN to move the Winter X Games to the Butte.
By starting and embracing the extreme competitions, which have expanded and grew, I think is a large part from what started here, because the skiing was so good and so unusual, and people of all ages loved it. Not just watching it, but actually then getting on the terrain and going, "Oh, I can't do what they're doing, but I can ski some of that terrain," and that makes people happy.
Success is John's hallmark. The airline program, the North Face, and then Ski Free, a bold and innovative program providing free lift tickets between Thanksgiving and Christmas. The business community and government paid for the promotion, which lifted Crested Butte out of a deep financial hole. The area finally had the capital to install high-speed lifts. Skier days soared to 540,000, almost double the number when John took the reins. Aspen took notice and lured John to its executive suite. He also served on the board of Colorado Ski Country USA and on the executive committee of the National Ski Areas Association. With fellow Hall of Famer Kent Myers, he created the Aspen Vail Passport, a lift ticket good at all Aspen and Vail mountains, available to international skiers.
Why don't they spend a week in Aspen and a week in Vail? It'll make a great experience, and we're more likely to get them back. Of course, the secret agenda was, well, if they come to Aspen, they come to Vail. Of course, then when they come back, they're just gonna spend the full 2 weeks in Aspen.
John worked to purchase Aspen Highlands and push to open Highlands Bowl, a renowned powder paradise emblematic of Aspen Highlands' great skiing. And he brought World Cup racing back to Aspen Mountain.
Ski racing was an integral part of Aspen's history, and the World Cup was the icing on the cake. And John Norton and his team were pivotal in bringing those races back in 1998.
He also opened Aspen Mountain to snowboarding at a time when the resort needed to attract a new generation of enthusiasts. With help from Crested Butte, John landed the X Games. 20 years later, Winter X Games is still in Aspen, and better than ever. After some glory years, Crested Butte found itself in financial trouble, and John headed back as CEO. Though the resort was carrying too much debt to be saved, John delivered the area into the safe hands of the Mueller family, Eastern Resort operators, before Vail Resorts took control. Today, as the head of Norton Global, John's focus is accelerating change, driving engagement, delivering better business results. John Norton continues to enhance Colorado snow sports with vision, innovation, and dedication. He has enriched us all.
He's just one of those guys that's curious. He loves to share the things that make him happy with others. And I really believe that that's why he's so respected, both by people who work under him and people he works with throughout the ski industry.
My life has been incredibly blessed, John reflects, not least because I got to spend my career in the Colorado ski business. We are excited and honored to welcome John Norton to the Colorado Snowsports Hall of Fame as a member of the class of 2023.
And the Colorado ski business is very lucky to have had John Norton. John Norton's here tonight to accept his award. I do believe he's being joined by Mike Claplin and Johnny Stevens. They might be back there drinking. There they are. There's Johnny Stevens. Johnny will be reading the proclamation.
I'm going to read the proclamation, but I want to tell you all these great things about John. My first meeting with him, I'm in Telluride, he's in Crested Butte, and he calls me and he says, Johnny, he said, I got a complaint with you. You don't know me. And I said, what's the complaint? And he said, you guys said that you had 18 inches of snow. My guy was over there and you didn't have 18 inches. So I'd listened to the snow report that morning, and I called John back and I said, we didn't say we had 18 inches. The guy said the snow was nearly up to his knees. I didn't also tell John that the guy that did our snow report was an unemployed bass sheep herder that was 4 feet 11 inches tall. So we had a good 8 inches of snow. So that was my introduction to John. John Norton, having been elected by your peers to the Colorado Snowboard Hall of Fame and representing the millions of skiers and snowboarders across Colorado, we hereby bestow upon you the highest award in Colorado snow sports. You deserve it.
Well, it's not easy following Sandy, Seth, Hillary, and Cheryl. Those were some fabulous people, and I'm just glad to be in the same family photograph. What you saw in that video, I'd never seen before, and some of it was true. Jen asked that we send pictures of us skiing as kids for the slideshow. She said they were real crowd pleasers, and I didn't have any. I grew up in Pittsburgh, and while I knew of people who skied, I never knew anybody who actually skied. And my dad started his adult life in a deep mine near Pittsburgh, and he got out of the mine. He worked his entire life for the coal company. We were a sports family, but we were team sports: baseball, football, basketball. I don't even think I knew what a mountain sport was until I went away to school. If someone had asked my dad if he ever thought I would end up in the ski industry, he almost certainly would have answered, "That seems very, very unlikely." How it happened? I got hooked on fishing. Pittsburgh had two filthy rivers, the Monongahela and the Allegheny. They were the wildest outdoor places we city kids had access to. People fished the rivers for catfish and carp, and I could wait for hours for my rod tip to go down and catch one of those fish on my line. I became a fishing fanatic, and someone suggested to my dad that we skip the annual family vacation to the Jersey Shore. Every year, it was the Norton family across the Pennsylvania Turnpike to Aunt Ginny's, to the Jersey Shore. And I loved the Jersey Shore. But we went out west where I could do some real fishing. This guy said, to my dad, take him to somewhere that's real and not just carp and catfish. And we took a train to Chicago, and then we took a train to Rock Springs, and then we drove to Pinedale, Wyoming, and I got the first experience of real fishing, and I also, for the first time in my life, saw a landscape that was truly painted by God. It was game over for me. I knew I had to find a way to live my life near beautiful rivers and these beautiful mountains. At college, I met my wife, Robin, still together 45 years later. She was a downhiller, sitting right over here in the green sweater, who later coached, as the video said, the junior Eastern team. But through those years, I was still more of a river guy and added whitewater canoeing and kayaking to my fishing. So I worked for Procter & Gamble, as the video said, and boy, we moved. We moved to Portland, Boston, Atlanta, Tampa, Cincinnati, Chicago, and then New York. And every time a move seemed likely, I would say to the company, could I go to Denver or Seattle? Those being the places that were closest to these beautiful mountains. And the answer was always the same, no. And then a miracle happened. A headhunter that was working with Edward Calloway here today, also in the video, recommended me for a marketing position at Crested Butte. Edward commented to the headhunter that I was making too much money at the time. The headhunter replied that John has done crazier things. And so the Callaways and the Waltons, Martha and Scout, had me out. Some years later, Bob Maynard invited me over to Aspen. Some years later, the Callaways and the Waltons invited me to return to Crested Butte, where we continue to live. I learned to ski, obviously, and I love it. 80 days in some shape or form last year. I learned to mountain bike. I love that too, and I'm still into my whitewater, and I'm still into my fishing. And I love the hospitality business. I'm suited for it. Our job is what? To just put a smile on people's faces when they come on vacation. Every day, I say a prayer of thanks that I've gotten to spend the bulk of my adult life within spitting distance of the Maroon Bells. And for my wonderful wife and daughters, and for my terrific friends, many of whom are here today, from my ski business colleagues who, like Johnny and Mike, are among the most interesting and fun people I have ever met. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. And I'm also grateful that I got hooked on fishing in downtown Pittsburgh, because without the fishing, none of the rest of this stuff may ever have happened. Thank you.
Amazing character. That's a powerhouse team right there, too. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. I want to invite I need all the inductees. John, stay out here. John, he's off to have a drink. I need all the inductees to come back to stage. I really want to thank you all for coming tonight, supporting this event, supporting the museum. There's an after party over at Pepe's, so go on over to Pepe's. And again, thank you. Thank you very much. You can also go collect your auction item stuff at the exit, and we will see you out on the slopes. We'll see you in the museum. Really appreciate it. So Seth, all the inductees come up here. Cheryl, Seth. Seth. There's Seth. Cheryl Jensen to the stage. Cheryl Jensen to the stage. I see Cheryl running out the side there. But